The final component to applying for aid is making sure that you've applied for all of the scholarships that you can. Scholarships take a couple of different forms. There are internal scholarships held here at UMass Amherst, and we'll talk about those in a moment, how you can apply for those. And then there are external scholarships, which we'll sometimes call outside scholarships. Those are literally scholarships sourced from any place outside the university. You know, your employer, your parents' employer, your place of worship, local civic organizations, your high school, your hometown, any place where you've got an in the local community that might offer a scholarship is someplace that you want to be applying. People often ask, when should I apply for scholarships? And the answer is always. It should be ongoing and continuous that you're applying for scholarships. You should always have a calendar going of scholarships that might be a good fit for you, when their deadlines are and what they're going to need from you. And if you're currently a high school senior, which I think most people viewing this video are, this is really the time when you have the most power as a scholarship applicant in terms of local scholarships. There are a lot of scholarship donors that really want to make their mark within the community, and part of the way they do that is by offering scholarships that are then recognized in like the local paper or scholarship nights in the high school. So this is really the time you want to be working very closely with your high school guidance office, making sure that you've got your applications in any place where you might be a fit in the local community. If you need help with those things, we can offer some suggestions as to places to look. But our typical advice is just, keep it local. You want to be a big fish in a small pond when you're applying for scholarships. So any place where you've got a connection or a hook to the scholarship donor, again, your employer, local civic organizations, places that are affiliated with your high school, sports teams, clubs, extracurriculars that you're involved in, that's someplace that you want to apply for scholarships. Once you get to UMass Amherst, we have a very robust scholarship pool that is merit-based, need-based, and need and merit-based scholarships that are held in a lot of different places on campus. So every college and major on campus has their own scholarship pool, and they run their own scholarship application process. There are also scholarships held by the Alumni Association, our Provost's office, our Chancellor's office, our President's office. We have many donor-funded scholarships that are administered by the Financial Aid Office that have different criteria. The university has done a really helpful thing for students, and they've signed up for this program called Academicworks. Academicworks is a software program that enables students to do one general application for scholarships. And at that point, they're automatically matched and put into the application pool with any funds where they might be a fit. So if a donor has set a criteria saying that this must be a student from Boston who's a biology major, and you're a student from Boston who's a biology major, if you do the application on Academicworks, the time when that scholarship comes up, you'll automatically be slotted into the applicant pool and be considered for that award. All of the different majors and departments on campus that have their own scholarship pools may have their own applications that they'll lay on top of the Academicworks application, but they're also done through Academicworks. And so what will happen when students do this Academicworks application is they'll periodically get emails from these different majors or different academic departments saying, you look like you might be a fit for this scholarship, but you need to go and do this additional application. It'll link you right to the application or the additional questions that are needed to apply for that award. Academicworks opens up for students after they're matriculated into the university, which is typically in about mid-June, assuming that they pay their deposit, come in for May 1. So it's not something that students can do when they're prospective students, but shortly after they're admitted, they'll have access to Academicworks. Once they do their application, they're in for the duration of their academic career, but we do recommend that students update that application at least yearly, because things will change. Your major may change, your volunteer experience, your work experience may change. And theoretically, you'll become a better and better applicant for those scholarships as you advance in your career at UMass. We have all of the university-held scholarships listed on the financial aid website, which is umass.edu/umfa/scholarship. So you can look there, and it'll explain all of the different scholarships that we have, the timelines, when their deadlines are, or when they're awarded. And for all of the ones that say to apply, go to Academicworks, you'll see the link right to Academicworks that will take you to the place to apply in June or later once you've been matriculated. People often ask, if I get an outside scholarship, is it going to decrease my financial aid award? The answer is almost always no. There is a cap on how much aid that students can receive while they're attending the university, and that cap is your total cost of attendance. So if you're an in-state student, it's about $33,000 a year. If you're an out-of-state student, it's about $53,000 a year. That means as an in-state student, you're not allowed to get more than $33,000 in financial aid from all available sources. But if you find yourself in the enviable position of having gotten like $35,000 in financial aid, we will reduce the least favorable types of financial aid first. So we'll first reduce your loans, then reduce your work study if you have it, before we would ever cut into any, free money from the university. We don't want to take away scholarship dollars because you've gotten scholarships from another source. But if you think that you are a student who has a high dollar scholarship coming in from an outside source, please contact us. We'll plan appropriately. We'll try to make sure that we don't have to make any reductions to your aid. And if we do, we'll reduce the worst possible type of aid that we can.